Well, there's no doubt that the 18th century shopping experience is the primary reason for existence for the Fort Frederick 18th century Market Fair. But for me personally, as much as I enjoy that, what I look forward to the most is camping here in 18th century fashion and being able to see all of my old friends and make new friends every year. It's really the people that make this special. And what I'd like to do is show you some of the people of Market Fair, some of the campers, and also some of the craftsmen who come here and ply 18th century crafts right out in the open where you can watch things being created before your very eyes. And it's a lot of fun. So let's take a look at the camp and then move on to the people. Well, it is a beautiful morning at Market Fair, and this is just a little view of the main camping area. It's filling in pretty nicely. And then, of course, there's my camp up here in the cove. Just kind of a little bay in the wood line here. Beautiful clear blue sky. I think we're in for a good day. As you would expect, backwoodsmen and long hunters are well represented among the impressions here. A lot of people portray that. But there are also a lot of people who portray townsmen, whether of the middle classes or even some upper class snobs you'll see parading around. But all of them have very interesting modes of dress, and they're well worth watching. So let's just take a little look at the frontiersmen and the townsmen here at Fort Frederick Market Fair. Here at Market Fair, besides the usual European-based reenactors, you'll find a fair number of Native American reenactors represented as well. And they provide a whole other dimension to the experience. Well, I'm over here with some of our Native reenactors, and they have a really interesting lodge here. So I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves and tell us about their setup.
My name is Alan Spencer. On the back side, you can't really see it as well from here unless you're at the top. It's cattail mats. It's leaves from a cattail plant tied at the top and then sewn through. Normally what I do is a cone or conical shape. However, when you're in sales, that's not conducive to bringing people in, so I went a lean-to today. On the inside, I've got straw mats. It's similar to mats they would have had around the inside of a wigwam or a conical, only they would have been dyed and decorated with different designs, symmetrical, some asymmetrical designs.
Now, what nation are you guys with?
I portray Shawnee. I have no native blood.
I portray Delaware. I have some native blood, but I'm not sure if it's Delaware. So, celebrating the blood in.
Well, you got a great camp. I'm going to take a walk around the backside and photograph those mats. So thank you very much. Backside of that lodge, and those are the cattail mats that they were telling us about. And these are sheets of bark that they can also use to make a lodge. Very cool. Now let's take a look at a few of the other native reenactors at this year's Fort Frederick Market Fair. The Fort Frederick Market Fair is a very family-friendly venue. There are several people that bring their kids, and it's wonderful to see a new generation being exposed to living history. And certainly Market Fair is a great place to do that. And so many of us are getting older. It's great to see another generation coming along that's going to enjoy some of the same things that we do.
Well, I'm here by the fort with Dave Craftsmen and his daughter Heather. Now, Dave has been camping up here with me for quite a few years, and if you've seen any of the videos, you might recognize one of my favorite rifles was built by Dave. He's a professional rifle builder. But this is the first time at Market Fair for his daughter Heather. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
So what did you think?
I actually love it. It is a lot of fun, and I'm really getting to know 18th century living. It's been a real treat.
Did you stay dry last night?
I did, yes. Our friends beside us, they had a little bit of an episode, but
It's all part of 18th century living, right?
yeah, we're good. We stayed dry.
So you think you'll be back to Market Fair again?
I'd like to.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Of course, some of the characters that you run into at Market Fair are just that, characters. Here's a look at some that you can see on the streets of Market Fair on any given day at Fort Frederick. At Market Fair, you also get the opportunity to see artisans plying actual 18th century crafts.
Well, I'm here with F.E. Will Cooper, and this is some of his work over here. Now, what are these made out of? What wood do you use?
Cooperings like this, which is called white coopering, the small buckets and straight side vessels are made mostly of softwoods, pine, white cedar, cypress, that type of wood depending on your locality, and which was typically historically correct. The large whiskey barrels would have been made out of white oak, which is of course much heavier and harder to work.
And with the hoops, do you fit the hoop to the bucket, or do you fit the bucket to the hoops you have?
No, you would actually fit, you would make your container first, or something like this, and you have a heavy set of what's called truss hoops, which are heavy metal and graduated size. You use this to construct the vessel. And once you have it finished with the bottom end, then you would take these heavy truss hoops off and put your metal hoops or whatever you'd have to measure and put it in place in each particular bucket, because nothing runs a constant size.
Perfect. This is one of the great things at the Market Fair, where at Seneca Creek Joinery you can watch somebody plying actual 18th century crafts and just move a few feet and shop for fine 18th century handcrafts of another type. This is Shel Browder, the blacksmith, and what are you making?
This is a welded ring for a field expedient repair on the forge. So first I need to form it into a circle and then weld the ends together.
I saw a lot of bayonets like that.
So that's scarfed and closed. And the next step will be to do the forge weld.
Well, that wraps up our look at campers and craftsmen. And in the next and final episode of the 2017 Fort Frederick Market Fair series, we'll take a look at some of the military reenactors that make the experience so much fun. So stay tuned.